Howdy, and welcome to the Texas Bucket List, the show dedicated to Texas travel and Lone Star State experiences. My name is Shane McAuliffe. This week, we start off at a place that doesn't even look like it belongs in Texas. The Monahans Sandhills State Park is a peculiar place out in the west part of our state, and when you get there, you feel like your name should be Lawrence, and you're walking around Arabia. West Texas has always been known for being a bit dry, but there's one sandy spot that seriously seems out of place, even for these parts. Do you constantly have sand in your boots?
Constantly.
Monahans Sandhills State Park Superintendent Michael Smith understands what it takes to work here.
My house is covered in sand, so there's always sand in everything you have. You sweep the bed out in the evening so you can go to bed because it's full of sand.
This place is literally like a Texas-sized sandbox that provides all sorts of recreation, but playing in it is the most popular.
This is where most families come to play, to dune, what they call duning or sliding down the dunes on anything they think might slide.
It's mostly kids, but I'm assuming some adults do this too.
Children of all ages. There actually used to be a gentleman that lived in Odessa that came out here regularly, way up into his 70s, was coming out here and surfing the sand dunes pretty regularly.
Now, just watching these 60, 70 pound kids having a hard time going down the hill, I don't think I'm going to give it a try. Well, never say never. Yeah, that didn't work. Have you ever gone down?
I have. I've gone down on discs and on boards.
Okay.
Yeah. I have not tried the toboggans yet.
What's a toboggan?
A long disc.
Not very familiar with sledding terms being
plastic sled.
Yeah. All I know is that people put on skis and come down mountains and it seems crazy to me.
Yeah. And no seatbelts.
Yeah, no seatbelts. Yeah. A park since 1957. The sand dunes have been sitting here for a long time. Does this just stay right here? Because everything around here has some kind of vegetation on it, but for some reason right here it just doesn't.
So that's an excellent question. So the theory goes that this sand was underneath the last ice age, located in the northern New Mexico, Colorado area, and it was ground under the weight of the ice until it's much smaller and much closer to perfectly round than most sand is. And so when the ice melted away, the wind and water was able to blow it this direction until it blew it down into the Permian Basin. So now we're in a big bowl, and the wind and water can't have the same effect on it that it had before up on the top. And so it stays down in here now. It blows around a little bit, but doesn't blow out. And so it moves enough that the vegetation has a very difficult time encroaching on the sand because it's moving.
And this sand isn't your average assortment of small rocks.
This sand is very unique. It's about 97% quartz. It's almost perfectly round. It's smaller and is the only place in all of Texas where this resource is protected.
Just trying to get up these hills is a little difficult with this sand.
Up is hard, so because of its physical characteristics, the same thing that prevents plants from growing on it, makes it move around quite a bit easier than most other sand. It blows in the wind more, makes it harder to walk on. So I tell people down is the easy part, then you gotta go back up.
When you get it in your hands, it doesn't feel like going down to the beach.
That is true. When visitors are talking to us, one of the most common comments is how good it feels on their feet. Most visitors choose to go barefoot. It's actually it's like getting a pedicure from God. It feels good on your feet.
I've never heard a reference like that before. That's pretty impressive.
I've never made a reference like that before. That was a first.
Now you know what to charge people for at the door. Hey, you want a pedicure from God? 20 bucks.
20 bucks. If I got a deal for you.
Now, if you want to get the special foot treatment and maybe attempt to sled, summer is usually not the best time.
When it's very, very hot, it doesn't slide as well. Best time to come is going to be spring or fall. Easter is actually our single busiest day of the year.
It's one heck of an Easter egg hunt.
Please don't bring confetti eggs.
Yeah. The Monahans Sandhills State Park, a great place to see and experience a very unique part of Texas on the Texas Bucket List. Just remember,
you're guaranteed to get sand in your stuff.